Is that because they love duck, or is it because they hate duck?
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah. They're like,
I don't know.
fuck all ducks in the duck world.
It's a
You
ducky
quack?
duck world.
If you quack, I'm out on you.
Well, that's right. You never know.
Super prejudice. Yeah. Hello and welcome to Whipped Cream Salmon. I'm your boy Brian Bastanza, joined as always with my boy Ronnie Sanchez. Sanchez is how you say it.
What's up, y'all?
That's Emma who's barking. And we are Whipped Cream Salmon, and we're going to talk about all things food, friends, and fuckery. Dude.
Let's go.
Let's go. How was that intro? It's okay?
It's passable.
Going to do the trick?
Emma's really making a statement this morning. Or this evening.
This evening. Brian's a little sauced up. Brian just had a couple beers at the bar.
I gotta get on your level. It's been a hell of a day for me.
Been a long day?
Dude, it's only Tuesday. This is one of those work weeks that you're like, how could it only be Tuesday?
Mm-hmm.
Just fucking busy. Really busy.
You're about to go to Asia, though.
I know.
You put up with it.
Yeah.
It'll make it even sweeter. If it's shitty now, it'll be even sweeter when you get there.
Yeah. Make it worse.
You're cracking beers over there?
Yeah, I am. I gotta get into it.
Get into it. I will also be cracking.
Ooh, I got this Highland Brewing seasonal Cerveza lime lager from Asheville, North Carolina.
Ooh, Asheville. That's not nice. We love Asheville.
And it's delicious.
I have a Birdsong, good as Helles, tropical Helles lager.
Helles.
Is that how you say that? Helles?
I think it's Hells, but
Hells? Helles?
I think so.
Good as Hell's tropical Hell's lager. Let's fucking go.
Let's go.
We like tropical in these parts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We got the garden going.
Did you? Rochelle's been working hard in the garden.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got I got a couple gifts from shout out Rob Wax at work. He sent over some Brussels sprouts and some broccoli. So we got those planted.
Nice.
A couple flowers, but yeah, we got some cayenne peppers, some sweet peppers, we're doing some greens.
Cool.
So we got some spinach, some green leaf going, some herbs, basil, mint, oregano. I'm missing one of them. Cilantro.
Fun.
I'm doing cilantro too. We'll see how that goes.
Cilantro, yeah, we have not had luck. Not very good luck growing cilantro here.
They just call it coriander at the nursery.
Mm-hmm. A lot of places just call it coriander.
But like, you know what you're actually after. It's that sweet, sweet cilantro.
Yeah.
I mean, coriander's fine and all, but we don't want it to get to coriander. Let's just keep it cilantro for a little bit.
Yeah, if you're listening from outside of the United States, for some reason we call just the seeds coriander and then the plant cilantro.
What do they call it?
Coriander.
They call the leaves coriander.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Huh.
Yeah, in a lot of places.
Cilantro Spanish? Is that the Spanish word for
it sounds
coriander?
Spanish. Sounds Hispanic. I don't know. I have no idea.
Huh.
Couldn't tell you. I just know that we refer to the spice as coriander and the plant as cilantro. Fun fact, it's the same thing.
That's diplomacy right there.
Yeah. Is it? I don't know if that's how diplomacy works.
You sure?
Okay. Are you still doing the hot dog gig?
Yeah. Yeah.
You are okay.
Uh-huh.
Are you gonna
Yeah.
stay? You gonna stay at my place while I'm gone?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
It's noodle takeover of Co-Noodle Boy's house.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
gonna be sprawled out.
Rochelle will be excited because she needs somebody to water the garden.
Mm-hmm.
She got a what do they call them? Like a drip hose or soaker hose, I think they're called. It's like a porous hose where you just like turn it on and it waters out of the hose itself.
Right.
And so yeah, she's got it all lined up. So you just have to turn the water on.
Just got to irrigate.
Yeah, and just remember to turn it off when you're done. When you're done, otherwise it's gonna be on for 2 weeks.
You turn it on and then turn it off. Every
Once
day.
it reaches, appropriate watering levels.
Right. That's pretty cool though. That makes watering life pretty easy.
Yeah, if you don't have the right like system, it can be a pain in the ass.
Yeah, y'all do good though. Y'all have a bunch of plants going.
Rochelle. Should really say Rochelle does well. I don't know. I'll pick them. Yeah, I don't know. I like the idea of gardening more than I actually like getting in there. And dude, I'm too tall to be bending over in gardening beds.
Mm-hmm. Dude, you need those fancy knee pads that they sell at the gardening store.
I need those the sit anywhere legs that we talked about. The sitting pants.
Mm-hmm. Robot legs, crouchers.
Yeah. That would be good.
Yeah, I did see those at the gardening store this weekend. Though I was like, oh, it's a good idea to have some quality soft knee pads for your garden adventures.
Yeah, I think it's probably a wise investment.
Mm-hmm.
If you're serious about it. See, if we had raised garden beds, like the waist high ones, I think that I'd be more interested.
Yeah.
On my feet.
It's so dirty out there though,
It's the dirt that you don't like.
Actually, I kind of like the dirt.
I like the dirt. Yeah, dude, I'd work hard manual labor. The last thing I want to do on my weekend is be bent over, pulling out weeds and digging holes.
Mm-hmm.
It's not for me, really.
Yeah, but you're good at eating food that comes out of the garden.
I'm good at eating it, and I'm good at cooking it as well.
Yeah,
I'll prepare it. Yeah.
And
I'll be thankful.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for growing this food.
Mm-hmm. It's important.
Very.
It's not that important. I mean, some people live their whole lives without gardening a thing. And that's okay.
I think it's still important though.
Someone's got to grow the
stuff. Like gardening in general. I think.
Yeah.
I do think it's important.
Yeah, if we got rid of gardening completely, we'd be in a tough place as a society.
Would it be good?
Just being grass.
Mm-hmm. We wouldn't want that now, would we?
I don't think so.
No, definitely
You ever eat grass?
Sure, yeah. It's not good.
I used to think when I was a kid that it would be, it's cool to eat grass.
How much did you eat?
I don't know.
So like a party trick?
Yeah, I was like, show people. Look, this is food, actually.
And you thought it was cool?
Yeah, cool is a strong word.
Yeah, I'd say.
Yeah. Got some attention, though.
I bet.
Yeah.
And those people probably thought you were pretty cool for doing it.
Probably. My mom and her friends were like, look at this retard eating grass like a cow.
You can't say that.
You can't say that?
I don't know.
I thought comedy was legal again.
Oh, boy.
What you been doing?
Yeah, we just been had our hands full at work. We've got a lot of caterings. So the project that we're moving into, that office building, we're not in that kitchen yet. There's still construction happening and details of whatever that need to be ironed out still. So we've been doing it for a long time, the catering and stuff that we do for them. But as that place is, furthering along, they're filling up that building. Like the office buildings are getting more and more full. So they're requesting a lot more like catering stuff from our small kitchen that we're in now. And it's not like the places are close. So it's like a lot of logistics back and forth. They like to spring up last minute things on us too, and then they'll just be like, and I've talked about it on here before, but
Yeah.
Also we'll get next week's catering and they'll be like, oh, charcuterie boards and this and that. And we're like, oh, we've never offered that to you before, but sure, we can make that happen.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just kind of like jump to, it's not that it's hard. It's just like, I just got to figure out the ordering of this and where to put these things and, just like one more thing. So
that's what happens. You've been bending over a little bit and they're going to
I know.
start taking advantage of that.
Remember that story I told you? If you give a mouse a cookie, don't give that mouse a cookie.
Mice love cookies.
Yeah. And when you give a mouse a cookie, he'll ask for a glass of milk. Yep. Doesn't stop at the milk.
What do they ask for after the milk? The mice.
I think he needs like a napkin. And after you give him a napkin, he needs something else. And then eventually he gets tired and he needs to like a place to lay down.
And he wants a cigarette.
Yeah, he wants a cigarette.
After
you give him the cigarette, he's going to need a lighter.
Yep.
You give him a lighter, now he needs an ashtray.
Greedy fucking bastards.
Mm-hmm.
Who's your favorite mouse?
Stuart Little, probably. No, I'd take that back. It's Remy.
Remy's cool.
Yeah.
I like Splinter a lot.
Splinter's cool. Wait, Remy is the guy.
Is he?
Is the rat? Is that Ratatouille?
No, I thought Remy was the mouse.
Fuck, you might be right.
I'm not sure. Let's fact check. Live fact check on this because this is the important stuff that we need to get to the listeners.
Well, yeah,
of course.
It is Remy. Okay, I was right.
What is the gentleman's name?
His name is Linguini.
Linguini.
Alfredo Linguini. That's pretty funny.
Alfredo is his first name?
Mm-hmm.
That's not realistic.
Alfredo Linguini.
Great film, though.
Mm-hmm.
Really good film.
One. There's a lot of good quotes in that movie, too.
I have a Ratatouille Hawaiian shirt.
I know. I like that one a lot.
I should wear it. I'll wear it on Thursday's episode. We're doing a bit of a crammed recording sesh. A little Tuesday today, record. A little Thursday also this week as Ronnie sails into the sunset that is Japan.
Yeah, and then hopefully we'll do a recording from Japan.
You better speak zero English by that time. You better be like full Japanese at that point.
Yeah, we'll include subtitles. It'll actually be dubbed over.
Yeah. Maybe when you get back, you'll be able to understand English again, and then you can dub it yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll dub it in Japanese.
Well, yeah, sure.
I'm gonna do some guerrilla marketing out in the streets of Japan.
Workroom salmons?
Yeah, try to get us some Japanese listeners.
Wow.
We haven't had one yet. Oh, side note, welcome our newest listeners from the Philippines.
Ooh, really?
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Yep, we got some in the Philippines.
We love the Philippines.
Yeah, me too. So thanks for listening. And, if you know any Japanese friends, let them know. See, this is where it starts. You got to get the word out.
So how many Philippines are there?
I mean, there's a lot of islands.
Yeah. Is each one's a Philip?
Well, I think each one's a Philippine.
Oh, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep. Anyway, so I have this quiz for you. It's not really a quiz.
You're testing my knowledge?
It's a questionnaire. No, it's not really. It's just a questionnaire.
Okay.
And I thought it would be fun to ask you these questions. And you could answer them.
I love that.
You like it?
Yeah.
All right.
What's the segment called?
Ronnie asked Brian questions. So question 1.
This week on Ronnie Ask Brian Questions. Question 1 is...
It's a multiple choice. It says, what's the worst way to start a shift? You show up and realize you're the only one who remembered the schedule. B, the walk-in smells ... wrong. C, a server is already crying and it's not even the lunch rush yet. Or D, you hear, hey, did you see the health inspector out front?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What would be the worst way to start a shift? You just got there.
I'm going to pick A, which is
Yeah.
I'm the only one that remembered that.
Yeah, it says the only one that remembered the schedule, so I'm assuming that means
you're the only one there.
You're the only one there?
Yeah.
Which would be awful.
So let's go through them a little bit. B, the walk-in smells like something. Well, it could just be one thing.
Yeah.
And like your whole day might not be ruined because of the one thing that isn't good. Now, I mean, that could really alter your day, but without more context, I can't really say that would be the worst way to start a shift.
It's not a fun thing to have to like figure out though.
Mm-hmm. Start smelling random boxes.
You know, it's not the worst possible thing, but like, yeah, you start smelling random boxes or like, I don't know, the worst. This was at Plump Jack one time. I was looking through the walk-in and, you know, like the back bottom left corner of the walk-in was where we had like all of our like 22 quart stock Cambros. And I think my guess is that it was a, you know, night crew. You know, we had the night cleaners come through and they would like drain the fryer or whatever. Or actually, I don't know if they drained the fryer. I can't quite remember. They did, right?
Yep.
So somehow the oil, well, I didn't know what it was, but ultimately ended up being oil was put into a Cambro. And then probably somebody saw that Cambro sitting out and they were like, why is this out? Why? Assuming maybe it was stock or something. And then they put the lid on it and put it in the walk-in. Well, I discovered it and it had no label on it. I was like, what the fuck is this? And I'm like, take the lid off and I'm smelling it. And I was like, I can't figure out what this is, you know? And I like taste it. I was like, it's greasy as shit. And then I realized I was like, oh my God, this is dirty fryer oil. So not that I was like discovering a stench in the walk-in, but yeah, anytime you have to like sift through things and be like, what is this?
Yeah.
Is this good?
Tongue punching something that shouldn't be tongue punched.
Yeah. That's one way to say it.
I empathize with that situation for sure. As far as is it the server or busser?
Yeah, that is server crying.
It's going to happen. It's not the worst way to start my shift.
Yeah.
Probably not a great way to start her shift. Is it a her? Did I imply that?
You implied it.
That was rude of me, for sure. It's probably not the best way to start their shift. But I'll be fine. I'm going to get through it.
You'll get through it.
And I might even, make them a little something to get them through the day. So,
Brian,
we'll work through that. What was D again?
Sweetheart. D was you walk in and you hear somebody say, hey, did you see the health inspector out front?
Our shit's clean as fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Don't care.
Yeah. There's always a little bit of a freak out when the health inspector's there, just because, you just want to make sure everything's on point. But
sure.
The health inspector should never be like a scary thing. Yeah.
If the health inspector coming is scary, you shouldn't work at that place anymore.
No.
Yeah. We at one point we talked about some techniques for as the health inspector shows up. One thing I remember saying is just get shit in the dish pit.
Yeah.
If it's questionable, put it in the dish pit. You'll be fine. Make sure you got, you should always have thermometers in every fridge, but make sure those are ticking and, you'll be fine. And they don't shut the restaurant down if you missed having a thermometer in one of your low boys.
Right.
They write up a thing. They're like, hey, we're going to come back in 2 weeks. And then they'll come back and make sure that you have it in the thing. So,
yep.
Not that scary.
Not that scary.
Yeah. Good question.
All right. So my second question is a would you rather?
Ooh.
Would you rather work an entire dinner rush with no tongs or no towels?
I would do no tongs, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some kitchens operate without tongs entirely. You heard that?
You have experience in one of those?
No, I've never worked in one. But I've heard some like high-end restaurants are like, we're so delicate with our food that we don't allow tongs in our kitchen. Have you heard of that? You never heard of that?
It's kind of wild. I don't know. Maybe
it's wild. It is wild. I do think it's wild. But I do understand that it exists.
I guess I have worked in places where we did use more like, really small like offset spatulas and tweezers. I don't like the like really fine tweezers, but the long like kind of like chopstick size tweezers I do like to work with for certain things. And it does depend. Like if you're working in a really like fast paced, busy restaurant and you're cooking, burgers and steaks and, sandwiches, it doesn't make sense to have those tools.
Sure.
You need different things. If you're working somewhere where you're like, it's a bit more slower paced, we were talking about like restaurants that are coursed out where you might have a little bit more time to like focus on the plating of things. It does make a little more sense in those scenarios for you to use something like tweezers or an offset spatula, or I don't know. There's a lot of different things you could do,
Sure. And I love tongs. I mean, I like them for like grabbing things that are hot too, right? Like you like pick up like sheet pans or definitely like sizzle plates with those tongs. I do enjoy that. I'm a line cook. I twirl a little tong. Don't get it twisted. Don't arrest me, but I'll twirl the tong. I'll click them.
Yeah, and you have to click them to make sure they're working.
Of course.
But yeah, no towels. It's just like that's just a hazard at that point.
Yeah, I don't know that you can work a shift without a towel. I know Pretty that tough. You can work a shift with the spatulas and spoons and towels. I don't know. Like, what would you have in place of it? Like nothing? Like you have an oven mitt, maybe?
That'd be awful too.
I guess you could do a shift with some crab claws, but I don't think that's ideal. That's so nerdy.
And you can't like clean up after yourself on your station either.
Yeah.
Have you ever worked in a kitchen where you're limited to like 2 towels per shift? I have not.
In school, we were allowed 2 towels. We had like assigned towels, but we also had paper towels. So you're like, I mean, it's kind of at that point in our lives, like we were just like towels aren't used for cleaning. These were like basically in place of picking up hot stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't even agree with that. I think that like it's much more sustainable to have towels that you can clean and then you can wipe stuff up next week as well. So sure. Yeah, towels good. 2 thumbs up on do towels matter.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of like an old school restaurant thing. I don't know if it's like French kitchens or what, but I've heard of kitchens where you're assigned 2 towels per shift. And I don't know how you operate that way. I guess you just learn to take care of your towels, but I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I cook with a towel for 15, 20 minutes and that towel was like done.
Yeah,
You
even
know?
if you're being careful. Like,
Yeah.
no, I mean, I will admit that like I could be better about towel usage for sure. But like, yeah, it depends.
Also,
I mean, if you're expected to wipe stuff with it and you're like, and you have a cutting board on your station and you're going to like slice some chicken on it and then you're going to wipe your cutting board down with a
yeah,
towel, whatever, like I think a good cooker would have like different towels for different uses, right? Like you have one towel
sure.
in your sandy bucket, you have a towel or two for like picking up hot stuff. I always kind of had the like a system of like I'll have some hot stuff towels and then that'll get messed up a little bit and then that will become my sandy bucket towel and then
Yeah.
as like but I I don't think I couldn't do it with a few towels, but
Okay.
it would take some amount of training and untraining of how I've worked, I think.
Yeah. I think I've just always kind of been of the mindset towels are not expensive. A bag of towels is not fucking expensive. That shouldn't be where you're looking to cut costs in your restaurant. Prevent keeping. I want as many towels as I need
Yeah.
for my shift,
Mm-hmm.
and don't question me about them. I should just be able to grab towels.
Yeah.
At will.
Yeah. Agreed. Foie gras is expensive.
Yeah.
But buy that too.
Buy that.
As well.
Save money in other places. All right, this one. We'll see if anything comes to mind right away. But what is the weirdest complaint that you have heard from a customer?
What's the weirdest complaint I've heard from a customer?
We can broaden it too. Maybe like it could be modification. It could be, I don't know, maybe weirdest customer thing, interaction.
The first thing that came to mind is like, and this isn't the weirdest, but it's the first thing that came to mind, which is like when someone sends back something that's like perfectly temped,
Yeah.
and they're like, "This isn't." They're like, "Hey, I'm sending back this medium rare that I ordered. It's perfectly medium rare,"
Mm-hmm.
and they either under or over. Both have happened in my career.
100%.
And I just don't understand. Like, one, like, if you order a medium rare and you get this thing that, like, somewhat objectively medium rare, and you won't eat it because it's a little higher or lower than what you thought it might be, that's like kind of weird to me in general.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Just know what a fucking medium rare looks like.
Also, I mean, to send back something, I don't know, man. If I ordered it medium rare and it's like on the rare side or maybe even a little over, it's on the medium side, maybe even medium well, dude, I'm probably just going to eat the steak.
It's so much more worse to like send it back and have to wait 15 minutes. Well,
Dude, it's got to be well done or like blue rare for me to be like, you know what? I asked for medium rare and this is just way off. Sorry.
Sure.
You know, like, yeah, I agree. Especially, and you know, you'll get those customers every once in a while where you'll send something out maybe 2 or 3 times to the same people and they send it back every time. And you're just like, "Oh, I don't really know what to tell you because
send them a chicken. That's what you do."
Maybe order something else. I'm starting to think you just don't like steak.
Yeah.
Or maybe this is just not the right place for you.
Yeah.
And that's okay too.
It's crazy. Well,
you know,
I will say, as a little side tangent, there is a percentage of the population that goes out to places with the intention of sending shit back because
Mhm.
they want free shit.
Yeah, this is true.
Those people are disgusting.
Yeah.
What other like weird kind of requests? I mean, gluten-free rice. Like, I'm sorry, dude. You're celiac, but you don't know that rice doesn't have gluten. Can't BS a BSer like that, you know?
You say that one a lot. That's funny. That one's really irks you.
I've said that before. I didn't even know I said
Oh yeah,
that.
that's funny.
That does irk me. Correct.
We've said this one too, but at PJ's, somebody they rang in that they were vegan, but then ordered duck. It was said the ticket said vegan, duck, okay. I don't know how you can discriminate so hard against one. Out of the entire animal kingdom, you won't eat, but you're like, yeah, I'll eat a duck though.
Is that because they love duck, or is it because they hate duck?
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah. They're like,
I don't know.
fuck all ducks in the duck world.
It's a
you
ducky
quack,
duck world.
if you quack, I'm out on you.
Well, that's right. You never know.
Super prejudice. Yeah.
This one, and maybe we've covered this with our idiot sandwiches. It says, "What is the most baffling thing you've ever seen a new hire do on their first day?"
Do you have any?
I have a couple, and I've definitely the ones that come to my mind. I've definitely talked about them on our idiot sandwiches, and I don't know that they were all necessarily first day,
Mm-hmm.
but within the first couple days, first weeks, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's also tough because you get those. I mean, you get people in the restaurant that show up for a shift, or they come and they stage, and then you'll never see that person again.
Mm-hmm.
They don't exactly leave a lasting impression
Mm-hmm.
in many cases.
Sure. For sure. You just see someone like show up just hammered drunk.
On their first day,
That's baller.
that would be wild.
Yeah.
Have you ever had anybody leave like mid shift on their first day?
Ooh. That would have been at Plum Jacks if it happened.
We had a number of like people that showed up one shift and then never came back there, but
Mm-hmm. You had a good one about like someone chopping parsley and it was supposed to be, and it was mint, or they were supposed to chop parsley and then it was mint, or right?
yeah, he was no, he was supposed to be. Well, he wasn't supposed to be doing anything. He just no. This was an idiot sandwich of mine and it was not his first day, but it was like his first like couple weeks or whatever. He didn't last very long, but he was like up at the pizza station, and the pizza station was pretty far from the rest of the kitchen. And I was like walking past that area, and I just like got like a waft of mint, like a very strong waft of so much that like I was not in the same room. And I walked over there because I was confused as to why I was smelling all this mint coming out of the pizza station, which was its own separate room. And I walk up there, and the new guy is chopping up. I have tried to show him a number of times how to chiffonade basil, and he just never could do it correctly. He would just always rough chop it. I would show it to him, you know, stack the leaves, roll it up, slice it thin, and then the very next time I'd see him, he'd just be like rough chopping it. He was just kind of like, he was hopeless.
Yeah.
So I walk up there and I see he's rough chopping all of this mint. I was like, "What are you doing, bud?" And he was like, "Just chopping this basil. Busy basil day." Like a really thick Southern accent. I think he was from like Kentucky or Arkansas or some shit. Like, busy basil day, boss. Just chopping this basil. It's like, that's great. You're chopping mint. So
You can tell
it's like,
because it smells like mint.
yeah. On account of it smells like toothpaste. He's like, oh man, you mean I did all this for nothing? So
That's
funny.
pretty good.
Uh,
I don't know that I have a really good one. Pass.
okay. Pass. All right. You have 5 minutes before opening and you realize you forgot to prep one key ingredient. What do? Wing it? Who's going to notice? B, delegate it to the greenest line cook and pray. C, invent a new version of the dish and sell it like it was intentional. Or D, call in a favor from another station and owe them a lifelong debt.
This is hard because it's like context matters.
Yeah.
Like, what does winging it mean?
Yeah.
And what is the dish? And I've definitely asked favors from other stations for sure when I've needed help. And
Sure.
I would also, I think that in a healthy team, you can and should be able to expect that. Right. Like, hey, I need the, and I've, been on the other side of that, and I will.
Yeah.
If you're effed, like I can help you out too.
Is your prep list done? You have a minute?
Right.
Anyone got hands? Yeah.
I've also, I've delegated to weaker cooks at times or dishwashers. Like, bro, I need you to do this, right? Like, and make the like, and even complex things too. Like, these are tortellinis that we're making. This is how you do it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you one. Make them all exactly like this. And I've got, and I've gotten good results from that. I've gotten not the best results from that, but gotten good results from that too. What was another option? I don't know what winging it means. I mean, like, if the thing is possible to just like, I've definitely like scrambled at the last minute and got something done and put a plate together.
Yeah.
So I guess, what do you do? I've done literally every single one of those.
All of them.
Yep. 100%.
Here's kind of another idiot sandwich one. I don't. We can pass on this one if you can't think of something quickly. But what is the dumbest thing you've ever heard someone say in a kitchen?
I want to say like
there's been a lot of dumb things. I'll just.
Yeah, that could be anything from food related or not food related or the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I don't know why these are hard. They should be easy, but they're like not easy.
Donnie saying he could hold his breath under ice water for a minute. No, you can't.
That's it. 30 seconds, he says.
That's pretty dumb.
Fucking Donnie Burger.
I've never seen somebody fail so quickly.
3 times.
Like, so confidently make a bet and then fail immediately.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where it's like, you couldn't go longer. You were underwater for 3 seconds.
That's really good. I actually love that. That's a great answer. That's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in the kitchen, for sure.
I got another would you rather.
I like those.
Okay. This one says, would you rather deal with a ticket printer that won't stop printing or a walk-in door that won't stay shut? And by that, I think you mean like the latch just like won't close, or, like where like you turn around, you close the walk-in door and that thing just like springs back open constantly.
And it can't close?
I would say it can, but it's probably very stubborn.
Yeah. Those both suck.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've ever really experienced the printer that won't stop printing.
There's days at Plump Jack where that thing just would not shut off. Oh,
is that like just because it's a busy? It's not broken. It's just a busy day. Is that how you're taking
I'm
that?
assuming so. Yeah.
Okay. I would rather deal with that for sure.
With a busy day.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I could handle a busy day. But when you're super busy and you like can't get the fridge to close and you're, you know, like I've been in that situation where I'm like, fuck this whole thing. Yeah. I would, busy day. Always.
There was one of like the vent covers on the low boy, I think this was at Plumpjack, that would like fall off in the middle of service. I think it was on the grill station. It was like one of those, like, you know, the perforated like vent covers on the thing would just fall off in the middle of service. And then it was a pain in the ass to get it back on. And oftentimes it would end up being like flung across the line to like nowhere's land, you know, like get this thing out of my way. But with the door that won't close at work currently, we have, you know, a double door cooler that it just you know, like usually you open it and release it and it'll close automatically. It just stopped closing, so now it does just stay open all the time. And because you expect it to close, people are in and out of that thing all day long. You go in, open the door, turn around, and the door is still open. Or you go to close it, and because it doesn't have that spring-loaded whatever to close it, you'll close it maybe too hard, and it'll hit and bounce open, and then it swings back. It's fucking annoying, especially when you're busy.
Yeah, for sure. That's tough.
Yeah.
Agreed.
What is the most creative excuse you've ever heard or used to get out of a shift?
I know I've talked about this before, but it's snowing in Tahoe.
Yeah.
I know.
I don't know if that's creative, but
maybe not creative.
It's ridiculous. I've heard a lot. I mean, you've heard all of them, but maybe the worst one I've ever heard. Well, it's snowing is horrible, but forgetting what day it was is kind of inexcusable. You have a phone. You have a phone.
Yeah, what about the, like, I thought Jim Bob was covering for me.
Yeah.
It's rough.
Yeah. Really rough. Especially because then you're throwing somebody else under the bus. Unless they were legitimately supposed to be covering for you. That's not good.
Yeah, that's shit, Jim Bob. Get your ass in there, dude. I'm going to San Francisco for the weekend. Not at the restaurant. Yeah. That's on you. That's true. I mean, Pow's too sick. That's not a bad excuse at all. No, that's a good excuse. Pretty good one. Pretty not shitty thing to do. Shitty. But if it was worth it, sometimes it's worth it. All right, I got a lightning round. So you're just going to name the first thing that comes to mind. Okay. Okay? Yeah. Worst station to be stuck on? Salads. Salad station. Why is that? Dishwasher? Can be. Also, hot apps. Yeah. I mean, it's so hard because there's so many different styles of restaurants, so many different types of stations. If you have like a dedicated fryer station, that shit fucking sucks. Yeah, it does. It's hot, it's oily, it's like, yeah, I think I've said this on the pod, but we used to have this kid, Carlos, that he was like a high schooler, and we were doing like big $30,000 days in South Lake, and we just stick them on this fryer. Your job is to fry chips all day. 4 hours, 30-minute break, 4 hours. Fry chips. Also drop fish when we need fish. That's shit. That's, I don't know. Yeah. He did it all the time. He did it. So the first thing you said, the first thing you said was salads. Why is that what came to your mind first? Just because I have a reason for why I would agree with that. I just find it to be just unengaging. I don't know. It's like, it's kind of boring when you're like, especially when you like, when you feel like you're pretty good. That shit's, it's easy. It's like unimpressive, but also I say easy. I don't want to. It's not always easy. Sometimes it's very hard, and sometimes that station can get hit hardest than anyone because they might have a lot of pickups. They might
Yeah.
also have hot pickups coming out of a Garmin station if there's like
Mm-hmm.
paninis or some stuff like that. Um, yeah, maybe it's just because it's like can be demanding, but also like thankless
Yeah.
kind of job. Also, but also like if you're an established cook, like you don't really want to get stuck on that shit. You want to slang fucking pans.
Yeah. Yeah. Saute or grill, probably where it's at. But um, for me, the reason that I don't like being stuck on that station is you can really only make, when you're on Garmin J, you can only make one thing at a time. You can make a lot of that one thing,
Mm-hmm.
but you can only make one thing at a time. You got 5 different salads and you got 15 tickets hanging. Like I can only build Caesar salads right now.
Right.
But if you're slinging pans, I could have scallops going. I got chicken going. I got my pork chop in the oven. I got my steak on the grill. I got, all these different things. And you're like dancing, and it is super engaging because you got a lot going on. You're trying to keep up with everything, get everything out at the same time. Being on Garmin J it's just kind of a slog a lot of time when you're in it and if you're backed up and you're like just building one type of salad at a time, like it can really slow you down.
Totally. And if you have like some tables with like maybe your first couple tables on your thing have like one of each dish, then like,
yeah,
but like you also have a board full of tickets. So you're like, okay, I see that I have 4 Caesars and 3, garden salads and like some other stuff. Like to your point, you can only do one of those things at a time. So you wind up putting out 4 Caesars but you still have to complete that order, obviously. And that's ultimately the most important thing is to like complete orders. Because you can't send out food for half a ticket.
no.
Yeah.
And the worst thing is if you get a big table ticket and say it's a 10 top and say all 10 of them order a Caesar salad to start just to make it easy. But then you got one person that's like sauce on the side and another person is like no Parmesan. And then you got another person that's like sub, the baby gem for spinach, whatever. I'm just making this up. Then you can't even build them all at the same time. Now you're like building a bunch of different types of salads of like the same thing.
Sure.
And that
will happen every time.
Yeah, that'll really slow you down too.
Yeah.
This should, I think, be a really easy one. But what's the most annoying sound in a kitchen?
Tickets.
It's tickets. Ticket printer.
There's probably some bitch ass fucking servers' voices that I could probably put higher than that, but like some real bitch assness. But yeah, tickets.
Yeah,
you wake up.
That's a bad one.
Nightmares.
Yeah. I have a really funny story. This was peak, Christmas season, holiday season, just slammed every single day. You're in the thick of it. Long days, every day is like 12 plus hours, 15-hour days. And the cook next to me, he, showed up a little late and he was just looking frazzled. And he's not usually like that. And I was like, what's up, dude? You look worn out. He's like, man, I didn't sleep at all last night. I was like, oh, what's going on? He's like, no, I couldn't sleep. And then when I finally fell asleep, I was having these crazy nightmares. I was like, what are you dreaming about? He's like, well, I was on the line right here with you and we were slammed. He's like, and I was sweating so hard. It was so hot in here. And you looked at me and you said, take off your sweater. And I looked down and I was wearing this knit sweater. And he goes, and so I take that sweater off. And as it comes over my head. He was like, I was like struggling to breathe. It would get stuck, and then I couldn't get it off, and then I finally get it off. And then I looked down and I had another sweater on, and he said he was in the middle of the dinner rush and he was slanging pans and the chef's yelling at him, and he's backed up. He's just in the weeds, and he just got sweater after sweater. And every time the sweater comes over his head,
God.
he can't breathe. It's like, oh my God, that's a horrible dream.
Terrifying.
That's absolutely terrifying.
Chef's yelling at you. That's yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. That's a nightmare.
that's scary.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you made it out alive.
I know. You get that feeling too when when you're like taking a jacket or something off and you like get stuck on your head. You're like trying to pull it and you have a panic moment. That's scary stuff.
Mm-hmm. Terrifying.
What is one ingredient that you irrationally hate prepping?
I'd say I think I'm gonna say like sweet potatoes.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
They're just like when you're dicing a bunch of them, they're so starchy.
Uh-huh.
It kind of makes a mess of your blade. It's hard to cut through. You wind up like digging into your knife callus a little bit. If you have to do a bunch of them, I mean, if you have to do one, it's not that big of a deal. But it's also like hard to get a good cut on a sweet potato.
Yeah, because they're so hard.
And they'll like split. You like cut like 3/4 of the way, and it like splits, and you don't get like a nice sharp cut through. I mean, it does have to do with the
I know exactly what you mean.
the sharpness of your knife, but like they're kind of even with a sharp knife, I think you could starch it up. I mean, yeah, just like especially with like a chef knife where it's like a thick blade. Maybe if you had a thinner blade, it might be a little better for that. But
like butternut squash will do that too. A lot of different kinds of squash.
Yeah, squash and stuff. Squash is like, yeah, to your point, and they're like weird shapes. Yeah, and like weird shapes kind of fucking suck. Like,
when you're trying to get all your dices nice.
Yeah, I think like summer yellow squash is kind of like it's just a weird shape.
So I'm glad you said this one because summer squash, zucchini, whatever. It's like, is there a difference?
I mean, I think zucchini is green
and summer squash is yellow. It's the same fucking thing. Anyways, my favorite cut for, and it wouldn't work for like a butternut squash nearly as well because it's even a weirder shape and it's got a hollow cavity. But one of my favorite cuts for zucchini, or I can do it with cucumber too, or summer squash, is and I think it's really underused.
Oblique, baby.
Oblique cut.
We love them.
Super underrated.
100%.
It's great because they're not supposed to be the same.
Yeah.
Like each one is a little different, a little rustico.
Different. Just like people.
Yeah. People are like obliques.
Not obliques.
Oblique cuts.
Not obliques.
Yeah.
Nice.
Great cut. The ingredient that came to my mind first, well, there's a couple of them. If you ever have to clean like a whole case of like baby artichokes, that really sucks. Sunchokes, if you got to like peel a bunch of sunchokes and they're really too small sometimes, and also they're just like lumpy and weird shapes. Love eating them. Really big pain in the ass to clean. But maybe my least favorite one is fava beans. Because the work is not done after the first shucking of the fava.
You got to shuck them, and then you have to shuck them.
If you don't know, fava beans come in like a really hardy pod. And you split that thing open, and then each pea inside of it, or each bean, has like a waxy casing on it. And you have to individually peel each and every one of those. So it's like it's a long process. I remember, it might have been at PJ's where we had them on the menu, and then we like made like a fava bean puree,
So
Like,
dumb.
what are we doing?
So dumb.
Buy these things. Buy
Buy
these
frozen peas.
Buy these frozen. What are we doing? This is insane.
Yeah. Agreed. Great call.
And this one you may have already said, but the one order that makes you roll your eyes every time.
I don't know that I've said that. I mean,
I think you've said it on this.
on
this
the pod.
segment.
I mean, a well-done steak. Is that what you were thinking?
No, I was thinking, does this rice have gluten?
Oh,
Is your rice gluten free?
that's not really an order. That's more of a question from a server, you know? Yeah, I mean, a well-done steak. Anything that doesn't make sense, like the server should have distilled that this thing doesn't make sense and should have communicated that via ticket the way that I should interpret it, but instead they just like listened to what the guest said and typed that directly into the machine.
Yeah.
Those are kind of things.
One that gets me is like the medium rare minus.
Ooh, that's fire. You don't order those?
Now, like, I think if you order medium rare plus, like, I think that's also kind of silly. But I can see that you're like being like, you know, like a medium rare to medium. You're kind of like offering flexibility. I think if you're ordering like a medium rare minus, it's like, yeah, but go fuck yourself. I
You're getting black and blue. It's minus.
I don't
medium
really.
Rare. It's raw.
I don't really know. Okay. Well, that sums up the this week's segment of Ronnie S. Brown questions. Great job.
Great job, everyone involved.
Yeah. And now it's time for the idiot sandwich.
What are you? Idiot.
You stupid idiot.
I'm an idiot sandwich.
You're an idiot.
Of all the idiots, you stand alone.
It's the idiot sandwich.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Why don't you kick it off?
I'm reading one.
Okay.
Off of Quora, if that's how you say it. When I was a teenager in the 60s, I decided to make fried rice. I got all the ingredients, put oil in the pan, added the vegetables and meat, the rice, and the spices. In a few minutes, it was ready to eat, except I didn't know that I needed cooked rice or to put liquid in the pan and cover to cook until done. The flavors were right, but the rice was crunchy and inedible in its current presentation. Today I could make it work, but I learned from my mistakes and how to fix them.
Very good.
Yeah, raw rice, just uncooked rice to make fried rice. Not ideal. Be honest with you.
Did I show you that there's this woman on YouTube? Her channel is called K Cooks.
You love Kay.
Did you saw that her fried rice one, right?
Mm-hmm. I've seen Kay's.
Oh man, if you do yourselves a favor and go watch them, or I think it's Kay's Cooking.
Is she's a troll though?
Don't think so. I think she's just a whitey living in London.
Dude, I think some of like the most popular cooking channels on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok are just straight up trolls.
For sure.
Should we start a troll channel?
Yeah, where we just make dumb things. We're like,
yeah, we make like, I don't know, macaroni and cheese out in the toilet or something.
I don't want to do that, but
I'm not going to eat it.
I just don't want to have to clean my toilet after.
That's true. I already got to do that.
But we could come up with some other things.
Okay.
Yeah, Kay's Cooking. She makes a fried rice on there. Burns the shit out of the garlic. It is so black. Yeah. And then she throws in her raw rice. Yeah, it's just a nightmare.
I remember
Yes.
this lady now. Yeah, she's a gem.
Yeah, she starts off her channel every video. Hi, people. All right. I also have an idiot sandwich from Cora.
Quora.
This person says, his name is Mark Sam, says, I have many stories, but one of my favorite is about the new quote unquote chef. I needed a new line cook. I interviewed a couple who applied. One was from CIA, one of the biggest schools in the country, known for costing a lot of money and producing stuck up assholes. I don't know any of them.
Agreed.
He says, well, this kid had some experience, so I hired him. He went to school and felt that he was a chef and he knew everything. Obviously, that pissed everyone off. Day one was spent filing paperwork and showing him around, and finished off the day with him watching and learning, or so I had hoped. Day two, he comes in and he starts his prep work for his station. I asked him to cool down the stock I made. Pop-up ad. I told him to cool off the stock that I made while I tend to this massive prep list I have. 10 minutes later, he says, Chef, we have a problem. He walks me to the freezer where he dropped 10 gallons of beef stock all over the freezer floor. I look at him, I take a deep breath, I say, okay, be more careful next time and use a sink full of ice water and our ice water. Get this cleaned up. I go back to my list. More pop-ups. I go back to my list, making more stock all over again. He comes to me 5 minutes later. Chef, I have another problem. In my head, I'm thinking, what the actual fuck could this kid have done now? I follow him to the freezer. I open the door. I look at the stock freezing, and I say, what's the problem? He looks at the door. He doesn't say anything. I look at the door to see that the mop head is frozen to the door because he tried to mop it and mop it clean, and it froze to the freezer door.
We'll figure it out, bro. Warm it up or something.
Brutal.
Yeah, people just... Sometimes you just gotta fuck up and then figure it the fuck out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, congratulations to you for being a dumbass.
Yeah.
Walk-in freezer's nice, though.
Wish I had one of those. I wish I had a walk-in period right now. All right.
Facts.
School bus is here. Everybody.
Beep, 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 beep.
How do you do it? Let me hit you with some knowledge.
This is the moment we've all been waiting for.
Pile on. This is time for the whipped cream sandwich school for cooks that don't cook good.
Let's go, Ronnie. I got a tip. Just
What's the
a tip. This is a simple one. You know this one. I'm sure a lot of listeners already do. If you're making burgers on the grill, don't be pressing that burger when you look at it. Go over to it and just take the spatula and just press that thing into the grill. Let all the juices out.
Squeezing all the juices out.
It's bad luck. Don't do
Unless
that.
you're making a smash burger, I guess. It's kind of a different thing.
That's different. That's on a flat top, and that is so thin with the intention of being crispy.
Yeah.
Really anything. I mean, you got a steak. You can press it. And we've talked about that a little bit before. If you have a steak, you can press it to make sure that there's good contact with the cooking surface. But once you've gotten some marks on it, all you're doing is just pressing juice out of that thing. You don't want to do that. So let it be a little bit. Be gentle. Tranquila.
It's something that you see new cooks doing a lot is pressing burgers.
Yeah, why do they? That's like,
I don't know.
I don't know. It's I think they're just like,
It's like a nervous thing.
What
Like,
do I do with my hands? Yeah. Exactly.
Do nothing. Just look at it.
Yeah. Prep some shit.
Prep some shit. Go and set your plate up.
Yeah.
Where your LTOs at?
Yeah. Did you get the mayo ready?
Yeah.
Did you toast your bun?
Toast the buns.
Toast them buns. You warmed a plate? Because that plate's cold as fuck, bro.
My tip, this was one Rochelle told me, reminded me of. I was looking for a tip, and she was like, I heard this good one. And yeah, it's one that one of my old chefs used to tell us all the time. When we get our herbs in, a lot of time there's a rubber band, around that bunch of cilantro or chives is a bad one. Once you get those things in, take the rubber bands off. Let them breathe a little bit. Because the rubber bands, it not only does it like bruise your chives or the stems of your cilantro or whatever, but when they sit in the fridge and they've bruised like that, that's when you get all those nasty brown slimy bits because your cilantro is being crushed under the weight of the rubber band. So
I like that.
Yeah, take the rubber bands off. It'll make your herbs last longer and not be slimy. Yeah, what you got?
But if you have to cut those chives right away, I like having the rubber band on there to keep it tight for your boy,
Yeah. It's actually one of my favorite things when you have a bunches of chives and then you take all the rubber bands off except for one and use one rubber band to hold like 10 bunches of chives together.
A little bias cut on those suckers.
So nice.
Talk dirty to me, Ronnie.
All right. Well, that's all we got.
We just, we creamed hard, and thanks for listening. Follow us on socials at Whipped Cream Salmon Podcast. Email us, whippedcreamsalmon@gmail.com. We love you. Stay creamy. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.